Okay. All right. So I'm audible, I guess. 1 second. Let me just check that once. Yeah, I'm live. All right. Okay, so before I start, let me introduce myself. I'm Vani Kari, biology educator at Unacademy. I'm an engineer with bachelor's and master's degree in biotechnology and a B.Ed degree. Also a founder of a startup where I grow microgreens by vertical farming technology. So join with us in Telegram for homework and class notes. You can join the channel Vani Kari ICSE Class 9 and 10 Biology. Okay, and Telegram channel of Unacademy ICSE and ISE both. So this link you will find in the description. Okay, so you can go to the description and click on the link to join the channel. All right, so we conduct special classes which are absolutely free for learners. Only a certain percentage of topics will be covered here, but in plus classes it is we will be covering the whole syllabus. So you can learn from your favorite educator for free. Engage with educators via polls. Okay, so we will be giving the polls, like we will be conducting a quiz. So at the end of the quiz, so we will be sharing the leaderboard so that you can know your rank and compete with your friends as well. So clear your doubts in the live special class. So if more number of learners are there, so there is a chance that your question might get lost. So in order to avoid that, what you can do is you can use a question tab which is a separate section. So there you have an option to type in your question, attach an image and send it to the educator during a live session, and they'll be getting a notification that the learner has asked the doubt and will be clearing your doubt. Okay, so for the top special classes you can visit the link in the description. So now Unacademy subscription features. 1 second. I will check it once. Okay. So Unacademy subscription features. So you can learn live from the comfort of your home. Unlimited access to all the courses will be there. Then top educators of India are going to take the class in one platform, that is Unacademy platform. Then there is regular doubt clearing session and answer writing session. So that is after about every 3 sessions. The 4th session will be your doubt clearing session. So any doubt you have related to the topics that are previously covered, so you can clear your doubt in this doubt clearing session. Then complete syllabus will be covered. Mentorship and guidance is given. The study material in the form of a PDF is given. The practice tests are given. The live test series are given. Along with that, once you take the subscription, so you will have access to all the batches. Okay, so there is a batch in English as well as Hindi as English. So you can go for any of these batches once you take the subscription. So with that, so there is daily practice section, weekly mock test series, live quizzes, daily MCQ and subjective test series will also be there. So Unacademy plus subscription pricing. So now for class 10, what you can do is you can try with 3 months of subscription. Okay, also if you are if you have already attended many classes on special classes on Unacademy, so you might be knowing how exactly the classes are conducted. So you can go for, so since you are in the very beginning of a class 10 now, so you can also go with the 12 months of subscription. So for 12 months it is 15k, and with the referral code, that is Vani YT, so you will be getting 13.5k on the subscription. Okay, so in that case 1 second. Yeah, so in that case you need to use the code VANIYT to get 10% discount on the subscription. Okay, let's see what is the sex linked inheritance, or what exactly are the genetic disorders that might be there. Okay, so now genetic disorders, when we mention, so this is with respect to what, the introduction for sex linked, or we can also call it as a X linked inheritance. Okay, so this is for X linked inheritance. Okay, so we will see some case studies also, so I'll explain it to you with a Punnett square. Okay, so now genetic disorders are illnesses caused by abnormalities in the chromosome. Okay, so the different illnesses are caused. Okay, so that is because of the abnormality in the chromosome. So what is that abnormality? So let's say always when we mention about a chromosome, okay, so chromosomes are always, they appear in a homologous pair. Okay, so whenever cell division has to occur, so this one is a chromosome now which is there in a homologous pair. So let's draw only one arm so that you will understand. So that means it is only for the reference. So now this is one chromosome, this is one chromosome. Okay, so that is, it is a homologous chromosome. So now always a homologous pair will be there. So that is with respect to the body chromosome. Now instead of two chromosome, if you have one extra chromosome, so this one is one extra chromosome. Okay, so this is one extra chromosome now. So this is not a homologous pair because this is homologous pair, and you can see that associated with that, so there is one more extra chromosome that is coming. Okay, so in that case we say that it will lead to a genetic disorder. Okay, so this will lead to a genetic disorder. So example, we can say the Down syndrome. Okay, so example is Down syndrome, so which you have seen in Tare Zameen Par movie. So there is special need children separate school is there, right? So same way, all the children over there are, they might be having some or the other genetic disorders. So based on that, there is a requirement. So one extra chromosome is there, and because of that lot of body features are changed. Okay, so you can find, so whenever we mention genetic disorders, so in general I can just say, okay, so I'll just explain it to you here. So this is with respect to the genetic disorders. So symptoms we can find. So what all different types of symptoms you can find in general? So there can be mental retardation. Okay, so one such thing is mental retardation can be there, and other than that you can also find a palm crease. Okay, so there is a palm crease in case of Down syndrome. Then you can find that the almond eyes you can find. Okay, so that is almond eyes is nothing but the eyes are somewhat almond shaped. Okay, then facial features are different. Okay, so facial features are different there. Okay, so as such when we mention about the genetic disorder, so you can find many different facial features. Along with that, so different. So now today's session what we are going to discuss is about the sex linked inheritance, which is not associated with the body chromosome, but it is associated with the sex linked chromosome. So that is the X chromosome. So we are going to study only about the X chromosome associated disorders. Okay, so now there are autosomal and sex linked disorder depending on the chromosome related to the disorder. So let's see this sex linked inheritance. Just a second. Yeah, so this is now a sex linked inheritance, or this can be X linked also. So we are discussing about X, only the X chromosome that we are discussing. Okay, so sex linked inheritance does not fit in Mendel's law of inheritance. So this is not going to follow Mendel's law. Okay, so this might not follow. So because the Mendel's laws are Mendel's law says that so one is going to be dominant, the other one is going to be recessive. Okay, so there is a segregation that will occur properly. Here in this case, the X-linked inheritance that we are saying, so there are a lot of changes. Some clotting factors might not be produced. Okay, so this particular Mendel's law is not applicable for this one. Okay, so males and females have different sex chromosomes. So what is the male sex chromosome? Now in case of a male, okay, so male is having the XX. Okay, sorry, so this is female. Okay, so for female it is XX, and for male it is XY. Okay, so these are the chromosomes that you can find. Okay, so this is with respect to female. Okay, so we will just make it smaller. Yeah. So female it is XX and male it is XY chromosome. So what exactly is the cause of this one? So let's say now here you can find, so let's say this is a egg. Okay, so this one is now a egg. The egg is always having, since female is always having XX, so now this 2n set, so this is the diploid set, that means two sets of chromosome you can find in here. So as the meiosis occurs in a gamete cell, so since the female sex cell and the male sex cell, so these are gametes, like reproduction will occur, so that is mitotic cell division will occur. So based on that we can say that here the two sets of chromosomes are getting reduced to single set of chromosome. So in that case now let's say this egg earlier, so this is a egg producing cell. Okay, so we will just write it as a egg producing cell which will undergo meiosis. Okay, so that is meiosis stage 1 and 2 it will undergo. Okay, so this is meiosis 1 and 2 it will undergo, and based on that the egg production which is occurring, so there is a reduction in the chromosome. So one X is coming this side, the other X is coming to the other egg. So ovum or egg when we mention, so egg is always a X bearing one. Okay, so egg is always a X bearing one. The sperm can be different. Okay, so since there is one X type is there and Y type, so now based on that we can say here, so I'll just explain it to you here. Okay, so now XY is, let's say sperm producing cell is present. Okay, so now sperm producing cell is present, and this cell, I mean it will undergo meiosis. Okay, so there is a meiosis division that we can see. So one of the sperm which is produced, so that is going to have a X chromosome. The other sperm which is produced, so that is going to have a Y chromosome. Okay, so you can imagine now the egg is always a X bearing. So now this is egg and this is egg which is always X bearing. So now if this and this fuse, okay, so in that case XX is the combination, then in that case this is going to be female. If these two fuse, so in that case what is going to happen, XY is the combination, so this is going to be the male. So one second, I'll just write this. Yeah, so this one is gonna be male. Okay, so XY here is male. All right, so now when we mention the a particular sex linked inheritance, so the males and females have a different sex chromosome. So and also the sex linked traits are also going to be different here. So based on that the sex linked traits usually related to the genes on the X chromosome. So now today's disorder that we are going to study, so this is completely related to the X chromosome. Okay, so what exactly is the changes that are going to occur in this X chromosome? Just a second, let me just check. Yeah, so now based on this we can say that okay, so many sex linked disorders are there. Okay, so which are connected to the recessive gene. So what is recessive gene here? Let's see this, I'll just explain it to you here. So now you can find one is dominant. So let's say we can take an example of a hemophilia itself. Okay, so now when we say that an individual is hemophiliac, one second. Yeah, so let's take an example of hemophilia itself. Okay, so now this is actually a bleeder's disease, or we can also call it as a royal disease. Okay, so in hemophilia we can see that so female is there. So let's talk about a female. So now there are X chromosome and then this is XY chromosome, so this is with respect to male. Okay, so these are normal individuals. Okay, so this is now a normal individual, this is a normal individual, so this one is a normal female. Okay, and this one is normal male. Okay, now who is deceased then? So this is with respect to normal. Now when we mention a person is having a hemophilia, so now XH and XH. So this we can say that the hemophiliac female. So female is having a disease. So same way XHY. Okay, so this H will represent that the person is having a hemophilia. Okay, so in that case only one X chromosome is there in case of a male. So he is going to be hemophiliac male. Okay, so this is a normal condition. This is a normal condition. This is hemophilia condition. This is hemophilia condition with respect to female and a male. Okay, then when do we say that the female is a carrier? So there is a concept of carrier that you will come across. Okay, so what exactly is carrier here? So now when we mention a carrier, so carrier won't have any symptom. Okay, so now you can see XH I had shown. So that means now this is a hemophiliac female. Okay, so now what is carrier then? So let's say two of the X chromosomes are there, so only one X chromosome is affected, the other X chromosome is completely normal. Okay, so that means now this particular X chromosome is not going to express itself, whereas the other chromosome, so this is going to dominate the action. So that means now this female, the carrier female, when we mention, so carrier female will not show any symptoms because this normal chromosome is expressing itself. So that means this is the dominant one, whereas this one is a recessive one which is not expressing itself. So if this is expressing itself, what will happen? So there is a disease that can occur. So now in carrier female, so out of the two X chromosomes, so let's see this one. Okay, so this is with respect to carrier. Now so here in this case, so this is the XHX. Okay, so one chromosome is normal. Okay, the other chromosome is actually affected. So now here with respect to that, so this is the dominant one which is going to express itself. So this one is recessive one. Okay, and there is no expression. So this is not expressing its condition, whereas the other one, so this one is expressing itself. So this is going to express itself. So now based on that we can say that, so now this is the case, so based on that we can say that always the normal chromosome which is there, so that is going to take over the action. So that means it is going to express itself. It will not allow the expression of a faulty chromosome because this is a diseased one. So that means there is some faulty gene is present which is responsible for production of certain things are not being produced. So in that case we can say that this is not being expressed because dominant one is going to express. So that means the disease trait is placed on a recessive type of chromosome which is not going to express itself. The dominant one is the one which is going to express. So let's see this one. So many sex-linked disorders, so these are connected to recessive genes. Okay, so these are connected to recessive genes. So for example, hemophilia as well as a color blindness. Okay, so there is a color blindness and then there is a hemophilia. So hemophilia, let's have a look at this. So this is a bleeder's disease. Okay, so hemophilia or bleeder's disease, so this is having a defective blood coagulation where the patient is gonna bleed continuously. So if there is a damage in the tissue, okay, so now let's say now this is a skin. Okay, so this is a layer of a skin. So in the layer of a skin, if there is any damage as such, okay, so there is a continuous bleeding that you can see, okay. So now with respect to this, so this you can see there is a continuous bleeding which can occur. So this won't stop, okay. So because the clotting factors are absent, okay. So since the clotting factor is absent, so this particular individual is continuously going to bleed, okay. So this individual is continuously gonna bleed, so there won't be any stoppage for the blood flow, okay. So in that case, what has to be done? So this individual has to be given with the clotting factor. So external supply of clotting factor has to be given, okay, because naturally this individual is not able to produce a clotting factor because of the defect in the gene, okay. So in that case, external supply of clotting factors are produced, injected into the body, so that if there is any damage, so basically they can stop this particular bleeding, okay. So single protein involved in blood clotting, so within a cascade of protein is affected. So now many proteins will be there, okay. So let's say this is one protein, this is one protein, this is one protein, this is one protein. So like this, cascades of proteins are there, okay. So this is now a cascade of protein, like many proteins are there. So out of these cascades of proteins which are responsible for clotting, so let's say one of the protein is not produced. So let's say this protein is not produced. In that case, there is no clotting, okay. So there is no clotting formation, or there is no clot formation, because one of the protein is affected. So this will affect whole of a process, okay. So cascade of proteins are there. So in a cascade of protein, even if one protein is missing, so that means there is no clotting, okay. So that's the reason hemophilia, when we mention, so this is also called as a royal disease, okay. So why exactly this is called as a royal disease is, so this was first time very found in the royal family, the queen family, okay. And this, since it was detected in her family, and a lot of them had this disease, so that's why this hemophilia is also called as a royal disease, okay. So now single protein involved in the clotting factor within a cascade of protein is affected. So sex-linked recessive genetic disease transmitted from unaffected carrier female to the offspring. So that means, so we will see some case studies, so you will understand, okay. So the defective gene is located. So I'll just explain you what is this point. So sex-linked recessive. Why are we saying sex-linked? Because the main cause of this disease is X chromosome. X chromosome is having a gene, okay. So that gene on the X chromosome is responsible for the clotting factor formation. So now since there is a faulty gene that is present on X chromosome, so this is not able to, a particular individual is not able to produce a clotting factor, okay. So that means if the clotting factor is not there, so continuous bleeding can be seen. So let's say if there is any cut in the skin, so the bleeding will occur. So there won't be any stoppage for this one. So continuous bleeding will occur until the person can even die, okay, or he can even become unconscious. So there is always a requirement of clotting factor in a body. So such individuals, anyway, treatment is not available, okay, but gene therapy is available, which is a costly process. So gene therapy can be done and can be cured completely. But it is very time consuming process, costly process, so usually people won't go for that. So usually people take the drugs, medicines they will take. So that medicine is basically nothing but the supply of a clotting factor is done. So let's say whenever there is a cut in the skin, okay, so they are given a medicine of clotting factor, so that immediately the clot formation can occur, okay. Or it is not immediately taken, so over a period of course, courses are given, so based on that, so they will take these clotting factors, okay. So now based on that, now this faulty gene is present on the X chromosome. So let's see this in 1 second. So I'll just erase this part. So X chromosome is at the fault. So where you can find more of a X chromosome? So that is in case of a female. So female is having 2 X chromosome. Male, when we mention, so male is having only 1 X chromosome. The other chromosome is Y. Okay. But you can see that males are affected more than the females. Okay, so males are being affected more. So this is in this disease, that is hemophilia or a color blindness. Why males are affected more? Because only 1 X chromosome is there. Okay, if only 1 X chromosome is there, and since this is a X linked disorder, that means X is the one which is having a faulty gene. Okay, so in that case, if male only 1 X chromosome is affected means, so this is a shortcut information, or we can consider that the male is going to have a disease. But in case of female, what is the condition? So 2 X chromosomes are there. Okay, so even if one is affected, so here one is affected, so this will be a disease condition. Here in this case, since 2 X chromosomes are there, so even if one is affected, the other normal chromosome which is there, so this is going to dominate and it will not allow the expression of this X chromosome. Okay, so this X chromosome action will be inhibited. Okay, so this action will be inhibited. The other chromosome is gonna work normal. So in that case, this individual is not having any symptom, but she is a carrier. Okay, so that means only one of the X chromosome is affected, the other one is completely normal. So we call it as a carrier because there are no symptoms of hemophilia. Okay, so this one is no symptoms of hemophilia, but she can transfer the disease to the next. Okay, so this is a carrier now. So carrier, when we mention, so she is not having any symptoms of hemophilia, but she can transfer the disease to the next generation. Okay, so this is she can transfer disease to whom? That is whenever she gets married. So there is a chance that she can transfer her disease to next generation. So we will see some case studies, so you will understand this one. Okay, now here they have given a particular case study. So now this is a female and this is a male. So let's see that itself. So I'll just put a Punnett square and explain. Okay, so now you know hemophilia case study. Okay, so we will see a hemophilia case study. So case study number 1. Okay, so we will just add numbers to this. So this is case study number 1. Okay, so we will see a carrier female. Okay, so we will make so we will take this part. Okay, so in that case, what is given in this one? So they have taken a carrier female and a normal male. Okay, so we will take the case study number 1. So this female is a carrier female. Okay, so she is a carrier female and she is going to marry a normal male. Okay, so she is going to marry a normal male. Okay, so in that case, now carrier female, how do we represent it? So this is XCH. Okay, because carrier is only one gene is affected, the other gene is normal. That means she is not having any symptoms. Now here the other one is so a normal male, so that is XY is present. So let's put a Punnett square. Okay, so we will put a Punnett square and try to understand how exactly this works. So now this is XH X. Okay, and the other one is XY. Okay, so we will just see this one. So case studies with respect to this. So this one you can see that so XH is being produced. Okay, and here and in this case also you can see XX. Okay, so this is XX and one more case you can see here XHY. So this is XH and here Y. Okay, and XY. So what you can see in this one? So now this individual, what you see, so X and X is there. So this side it is female. Okay, so this side it is female and this side it is male. Okay, so this side it is male. So now out of these combinations, so let's see who is deceased, who is carrier and other things. Okay, so now this individual is a female and she is a carrier. Okay, so this individual, what you see, so this one is a normal. Okay, so the normal one, because there is no faulty chromosome. Okay, and here in this case there is no one more X chromosome to dominate the action of X chromosome. So this individual is going to be a deceased one. That means he will have a disease, and XY is here. So in this case, so this is a normal. So you can find 50% of the child normal, 25% is carrier, 25% is a disease. So this is a case study with respect to carrier female and a normal male. So let's see one more thing now. I'll just explain it to you here itself. So that is case study 2. So we will do this here. Okay, I'll just do this here. Yeah. So now you know case studies 2. Okay, so this is a case study number 2. So that is with respect to hemophilia itself. So we will do the hemophilia condition itself now. Okay, so in this case we can just see that let's take 2 examples again. So we will make like, you know, carrier female is there. Okay, so there is a carrier female who is not showing any symptom. So he is going to marry a affected male. Okay, so she is going to marry a affected male. So what is their chromosome numbers then? Like, let's see chromosomes now. So this female is XHX and this individual is basically XHY. Okay, so we will see the Punnett square again and let's observe this. So there is XHX and here you can find XHY. Okay, so let's put this. 1 second. Okay, so now in this case you can see, okay, so 2 of the females. Okay, so now this is gonna be XX. Okay, and this is not, I mean both of them are affected. Okay, so here again you can see XHX is here and in the other case it is XHY and one more is XY. Okay, so you can see with respect to this, so there is an individual. So since both the X chromosomes are affected here, so this X chromosome is affected, this X chromosome is also having a faulty gene. That's why we have written it as a XH. Okay, so in that case this female, since both the chromosomes are affected, both the genes are there, faulty genes are there, so this female is going to have a disease. Okay, so she is a affected one. So this side it is female, okay, and this side it is male. So out of this, so now this female is having a disease and this female is not having a disease, she is just a carrier. That means she is not having any symptoms, but when she gets married she can transfer her disease to the next generation. So that means she is a carrier now. So we will see one more case. So here in case of a male, what you can see is, now this individual is having only one X chromosome. So there is no one more X chromosome to protect him from having a disease, that is to dominate. So in that case this male is going to have a disease. Okay, so this male is going to have a disease, and the other case XY. So this is completely normal because there is no faulty gene anywhere in this part. Okay, so in this part, so there is no faulty gene. So this individual or this male is going to be completely normal. So this is, you know, chances. So based on that, a carrier female is getting married to a affected male. So you can note here the male is having a disease. Okay, female is actually having just a carrier, like, you know, one of the faulty gene is there. So we can see this hemophilia or X-linked inheritance as crisscross inheritance. Okay, so why do we say that this one is crisscross inheritance? So I'll just explain you this. Okay, so we call this as a crisscross inheritance. So what is the reason for calling this as a crisscross inheritance? Because you can note down, one second, this I'll change the color, one second. Yeah, so you can see that from male, okay, so from male who is having a disease now, so from male, so male is having a disease, so that means because of the male, that is father, so there is this daughter has got the disease. Now in this case the mother is there, so mother is actually a carrier, so because of her faulty gene the son is affected. So you can see this is a mother's gene, okay, so which is combining with the normal Y chromosome from a male, so that is you can see a disease here. And in this case what you can see, so one of the mother's gene is also contributing, along with that the father's gene is also contributing, okay, so both of them together are giving the disease to the child, that is a female. So this we can say crisscross inheritance. What is crisscross inheritance? The male is affected, so if a father is affected, so it is a shortcut information that he is going to pass his disease to the female, that is daughter. And if the mother is affected, so it is sure thing that the affected mother is going to pass her disease to the male child, that is son, okay. So that is why we say this as a crisscross inheritance. So can we see one more case study? Are you all understanding this? Any doubts? So this is basically you need to have a look at the genes which are there, okay, so based on that we can just do the case study. So we can do one more case study here, okay. So last one was a carrier itself, so we will take one affected male and affected female, okay. So I'll just do it here. So case study number 3, so we will just take this, yeah. So now this is again same one, hemophilia, okay. So this is with respect to hemophilia itself. So case study number 3, so we will take one more case study, okay. Alright, so we will take a affected female, okay. So mother is affected, so this one is affected female, okay, and the affected male, okay. So affected female is there and affected male is there, so that means their chromosomes are like this. So now this is XH, okay, so it is crossed with the XHY, okay. So let's see this part now, okay. So we will put up a net square and do this. So XH over here and XHY over here. So we will see this part now. Okay, so now in this case let's make a note, just a second. So yeah, so this child is gonna be deceased, this child is also going to be deceased, and here this is deceased and this is also deceased. So from father the disease is given to the daughter, from mother the disease is given to the son, okay. So in that case 100% disease condition you can see. So 100% of them are having affected, or they are having a disease, okay. So that means now female is also affected, the male is also affected, because it is a crisscross inheritance. If a mother is affected, so this is sure that she'll transfer her disease to the son. If a father is affected, so it is sure that he is going to transfer his disease to the female. So that is why we call this as a crisscross inheritance, okay. So this is a crisscross inheritance. Is this clear? Any doubt in this? Okay, all right, so I'll continue with the next one. So hemophilia, so female hemophiliac patient is an extremely rare occurrence, okay. So this is an extremely rare occurrence, because the defective gene is recessive. Only if both the X chromosomes are affected, so only in that case we can see that the female is going to have a disease. Okay, so if only one X chromosome is affected, so in that case she is just a carrier, she won't show any symptom. If both the chromosomes are affected, then only in that case she is a deceased one. So in that case, so the gene, we said that the defective gene is said to be recessive. So recessive will express only when it is in a homozygous condition. So now this is a homozygous condition. So now this we call as a heterozygous condition, because one chromosome is affected, the other chromosome is normal. So this is going to be dominant and this is going to be recessive. Here since both of them are affected, so this is a recessive. So recessive expression will occur only in a homozygous condition. Okay, so if the father is hemophiliac and mother is the carrier, then the female offspring will not have the disease. Okay, so there is a chance. So it's not that one of them can have a disorder, but this is just the carrier here. Okay, so depending on a type of gene which is there. So females will suffer from hemophilia only in a homozygous condition. So this is XC they have written, so we can write it as XH also. Okay, so XH, so this is basically a homozygous condition. So since both of the genes are affected, so we can see that this is a homozygous condition. So Queen Victoria, a carrier of hemophilia, has many hemophiliac individuals in the family pedigree. So usually royal family members, so they'll marry among themselves. Okay, so that is to maintain their property, like all this so status what they have, or maybe it is to maintain, like generation to generation. So they are the ones who want to continue this royalty. Okay, so in that case it is the case that they'll marry within their relatives. Since they are getting married within their relatives, so there is a chance that they can pass their a particular faulty gene to the respective one. So in that case, so we can see that a carrier of hemophilia is there. So basically a Victoria, so she can have many of the individuals, because all of the recessive genes are moving in and around in their family itself, and that's the reason so many of the disease conditions you can find in them. Okay, so now moving on to color blindness. So what is color blindness? Any idea? Any of you? So what exactly is color blindness? So color blindness is basically you cannot distinguish between different colors. Okay, so that is mainly the red and green coloration. So this can be with respect to red and green color. Okay, so a disease where the patient cannot discriminate between the red color and then the green color. Okay, so because the cones which are responsible for viewing red color and green color, so they are not producing a respective pigment. Okay, so it is a sex-linked disease, again cause defect in the red or green cone of the eye. Okay, so red or green cone of the eye is affected here. So it is due to a recessive gene present. Okay, so that is again on X chromosome itself, affecting the males but carried by the female. Okay, so now in that case we can say that the male is affected, the female is usually she is not affected. Only if she is in a homozygous condition, so she can be affected. If it is a heterozygous condition, so then she won't be a disease, or she won't have a condition of color blindness. So she can be normal one, but she can carry a disease causing gene to the next generation. So now male patient will have the XCY, inheriting the defective chromosome from his mother. So that is why I said that this is basically a crisscross inheritance. The meaning is that if a son is getting a disease, so that is coming from a mother. If a daughter is getting a disease, so that is coming from the father. Along with that, one faulty gene is even contributed by the mother as well. Just a second. Okay. So now females are less likely to have the disorder. Okay. So since they have two of the X chromosomes, so you can find two of the X chromosomes. One second, let me just check this if this is audible. Okay, so let's see this part. Okay, so now in this case females are less likely to have the disease since they have two of the X chromosome. So if one X chromosome is affected, the other X chromosome is going to dominate the action of the other X chromosome. So that means it is the other normal X chromosome is going to express itself, so that the expression of the other chromosome will be completely suppressed, so that the female won't have a disease because she is having a 2X chromosome. Okay, so if one is affected, the other one will work normally. If both are affected, so in that case the female can have a disease. So now healthy chromosome will dominate over the defective or recessive chromosome. Yes. Okay, so let's see some of the case studies again then. Okay, so we will see case studies of color blindness. Okay, so now this is with respect to color blindness. Okay, so case study 1, so we will just see some case study over here. Okay, so that is 1. All right, so in that case let's say that the male is color blind. Okay, so color blind male is there and a normal female. Okay, so normal female is there. Okay, so in that case we will just see what is the condition. So this is now a normal female, the male is actually color blind, so that means XY is there, so this is affected. So let's put up a net square again. So we will see this one now, XX, and you can see XCY here. So what is happening from father? Okay, so from father, so the child, the girl child is actually becoming carrier. Okay, so that means from the father it is coming to the daughter, from the mother it is going to the son, so that we call as a crisscross inheritance. Okay, so this is crisscross inheritance. Okay, so here you can see both of them are normal male. Okay, and here both of them are carrier female, so both of them symptom wise they are normal, so there are no symptoms, but they are carrying this faulty gene which will be carried to the next generation. So these are carrier female. Okay, so can we see one more case study? Okay, so we will just make the female is affected now. So this female is affected and male is normal. Okay, so male is normal, so this is normal male, so this is affected female. Okay, so we'll see this case. So KXCX, so this is for color blindness, and XY is here. So let's put up a net square and understand this. So now you can see that XCX is here, then XCX is here, XCY is here, and then XCY. So that means from mother, so mother is affected, she is giving her disease to the son, so both of them are affected. And here both of these are again carriers, so they are not normal because they have a disease causing gene, so they are again carriers of the disease. Okay, is this clear? Any doubt till here? Okay, so let's see this. Okay, so genetic disorders caused by disturbances in the chromosome, so these we can find two types, so that is Mendelian and chromosomal. Okay, so some of the genetic disorders are autosomal and some of them are sex linked. Okay, so that is body related ones, and some are X chromosome Y related chromosome ones. So sex linked traits are different in males and females. since their sex chromosomes are different. Okay, now hemophilia, a bleeder's disease with defective blood coagulation, it is passed to males from the mother, so that is the crisscross one. The color blindness is another genetic disease affecting males, passed through the defective gene from the mother again. So this can be reverse also. Okay, so from father the daughter is getting, from mother the son is getting, so that is why we say that this is a crisscross inheritance. Okay, and other than that, since both of these genes are recessive, only if in case of a female, when we mention if both the genes are affected, okay, so if both the chromosomes are affected, so then only there can be a disease. Okay, but in case of male this is not the case. Even if one gene, because there is no another chromosome to dominate the effect, so now this one is disease. If the same thing we see in case of a female like XHX and XH, so she is going to be a carrier. So this is C, okay, because for color blindness, so she is going to be a carrier. Okay, so carrier means she'll not have any symptoms, but there is a chance that she can transfer her disease to the next generation. Okay, so females are only carriers of the defective gene. So let's see this. So name the inheritance pattern shown by the hemophilia and color blindness. Yes, anybody? No idea? Okay, so name the inheritance pattern shown by the hemophilia and color blindness is crisscross inheritance pattern. So both these sex-linked recessive Mendelian disorders, okay, so that is with respect to are transmitted from father to the daughter and from mother to the son. Okay, so in that case, one second. Okay, one second. Okay, so both these sex-linked recessive Mendelian disorders are transmitted from father to daughter and mother to son. So that we call as a crisscross inheritance. So I'll show you one more thing. So this one, did you know the Mark Twain and John Dalton were both colorblind? Okay, so these two are colorblind. And also with that, so John Dalton had even done an extensive research, okay, that is to understand his condition, like what exactly is color blind. So to understand that, he had done a extensive research. Now from the entertainment industry, so that is Christopher Nolan, and who is a filmmaker, and then Keanu Reeves, actor, are also color blind. One second. So these are also color blind. Okay, yeah. And along with that, the owner of Facebook, the Mark Zuckerberg, and the ex-president of the US, Bill Clinton, are both known celebrities with the color blindness. Okay, so this is about the data collected. So in that case, whenever it is not like something very bad, so basically color blindness, when we mention, so one is not able to differentiate between red and green colors properly. Okay, so that's the only thing. So that is with respect to color blindness. So let's see this. So there is ICSE Premier League, IPL. So we are conducting matches. So that is basically we will be discussing about 3-mark questions, 5-mark questions. So that is on different chapters, or maybe a particular topic. Okay, so series of free sessions to cover important topics and questions, that is with Unacademy top educators. So this started on 6th of May and it is till 31st of May. So you can find the link. All you need to do is download the Unacademy Learner app. Okay, so download the Unacademy Learner app. So there you can start attending sessions of all these educators. So this is basically the ICSE Premier League. Okay, so now this is a batch which started on 4th of May and the mode of delivery is English. So some of the classes you can have an option, like you have an option to watch the recordings, and there are many more sessions which are yet to go live, so you can attend those live sessions as well. So if you are subscribing for class 10, so you will be getting class 11 and 12 subscription absolutely free. Okay, and same way here, this is going to start from May 11, so you can attend the live sessions here. And here also PCMB is covered. Okay, so if you are subscribing for class 10, class 11 and 12 subscription will be absolutely free, and the mode of delivery here is English. Okay, so introducing community. So never miss on any update from your favorite educator. So get session notes and practice material. Okay, share your feedback directly with the educator via poll. So check out the link to the educator community below. Okay, so Bucks Bounty. So this is opportunity for all learners to report any inappropriate content in the video. Okay, so be the first one to report a particular issue to claim your prize. Report any inappropriate content, so that is using the form in the description. So how you can watch my special classes? All you need to do is download the Unacademy Learner app, open the app and click on get started. Then you can enter your mobile number and the OTP, sign up using your email ID. Then you can select class 6 to 12. You can select the category ICSE. Then you can choose the preferred language that you would like to learn in. Go to the description, click on the link, special class link, click on notify me. Following that, you can click on notify me. You can also use this code Vani Kari to unlock the free products that are there on Unacademy. Okay, alright then, so see you all in the next session. So any doubts you have, you can join my Telegram group. So my Telegram group is basically Vani Kari ICSE class 9 and 10. Okay, so you can search it in Telegram, so class 9 and 10, and join my Telegram. And any doubts you have, you can get it clear there, or you can use ask a doubt feature on Unacademy app as well. Okay, so click on bell icon to get notified about the session. So subscribe to our channel, that is Unacademy ICSE and ISE boards. Like and share the video and download the Unacademy Learner app. The PDF, if you want, you can just text me, so I can send the PDF on the group. Okay, alright then, so see you all in the next session. Bye bye everyone, thank you so much.